Thanks for joining us for Behind the Walls, a new series from United Adoration that highlights how the Holy Spirit is inspiring creativity through those who are incarcerated. In this episode, I get to continue my conversation with Brian. He is an incredible guy. And this time, though, we focus a little more on the creative process, the nuts and bolts of how do those behind the walls get to create? How does it work? What do they do with what they create? And stay tuned to the very end of the video because I'm going to share about an opportunity for ways that we all can come together to support the artistic work for those who are creating behind the walls. Thanks for joining us. You shared with me in the past that there's a lot of creativity and creating art in all kinds of different ways, music, visual art, spoken word, that's happening behind the walls. Is that, are you seeing that incorporated and part of your gatherings when you gather together?
Yeah, so when we every church service, we start off with the praise and worship. We have some guys, we our church is called Fortress L Emmanuel Training Center. So we try to build people, well, we do build people up spiritually. So we allow people to step up out their comfort zone and to just walk in the spirit and to trust in God and have faith. So we allow people to do like exhortations. We allow people to share their gifts and stuff like that. We draw people over to the church with our spiritual gifts, and also we share our spiritual gifts with people outside the church, and we minister to a lot of people outside the church as well.
So you sent me some pieces of art, that some visual art that has been created
Okay.
by people behind the
Yeah.
walls, and this is beautiful. It's amazing. Can you share about the creative process of you guys have the opportunity to gather together and to create together, and to encourage? Can you just share a little bit about what's happening with creativity and creating art in your times together?
Okay. So the way things work down here is, we're allowed to have arts and crafts in our room. So a lot of guys, the vision to create the artwork starts in their room.
Mm.
They bring it out to the tables, and you got, like, in here you got like two or three Christian brothers. They sit out at the table, and they just be sharing their artwork and their ideas and everything, that the vision that God gave them about this artwork, it just comes to life. So we're able to do it in our room and outside the room. And you got some of the Christian guys in here that even paint stuff for people's paint pictures of people's family, but it's a mixture of Christian artwork and just doing personal artwork for people.
How have you seen the Holy Spirit, work in that? Do you have any examples? Do you have any stories of how have you seen the Holy Spirit take the gifts, the creative gifts that are present, and do something beautiful with them?
So it was one Christian brother, and it was somebody that showed up for church. I guess he was painting something, and God gave him the vision. Well, somebody ended up wanting some artwork from him, and the same artwork that they was wanting, he had to kind of start drawing it for him. It was like scriptural based, Jesus on the cross, and I don't know. I like a lot of Christian brothers that do artwork. They always tell me that their artwork comes to them like in a vision,
Mm.
and then they just it just springs to life, and then they flow from there.
Wow.
We got some very talented Christian brothers.
Is,
Music, painting, poetry,
wow.
arts and crafts.
How much time do you have to be able to create and work on those things together?
All day. All day. Well, we come out from we out of our rooms from like 10 let me see. We come out from like our rec is like, well, we come out in the morning, to see I work all the time. So we come out in the morning, so in the dorm that I'm in, so it's from like 8 to 10, and then you get to come back out from like 12 to 3, and then we back out again from 6. So I say anywhere from between, like, together as a whole, probably about more than 10 hours.
That's really special, man. Just to hear just all the beautiful things that are being created. And can you talk about how you said you're able to send, you have some guys who create things for family members or friends and send them out. Is there anything you can tell us about that? Like how is that working and how do they decide what to create and send out to other people?
Well, like for example, if I wanted somebody to draw something for me, and if I gave them a picture and told them I wanted them to draw my daughter or my son or whatever like that, then they would draw it and I would send it out. They usually draw it on canvases, like one of the ones I sent you, and I would just put it in the envelope and send it out to whoever I want to send it out to. And the response from the people that receive it is always like they be amazed at the talent that's behind these walls. And here's another thing: a lot of these people didn't discover their talents until they got behind the walls. A lot of times when we was out there and we was living that lifestyle and we was in that type of environment and we have vices and stuff like that, a lot of us didn't know our identity and our true purpose. So we was out there living without purpose and out there living without identity. So a lot of people just didn't have no time to find themselves and find a purpose until they found God.
And then those gifts just started to come out.
And then it just blossoms.
Wow. That is beautiful. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. We work with artists around the world, and we encourage churches to gather artists and to create new things. Like, what would you say to artists who are creating, and like what kind of wisdom, what kind of encouragement would you have uh, for artists in general?
I would just say, just continue to let your light shine. Continue to inspire people and use your gifts and talents to do things to be a reflection of God and continue to inspire other people, because you never know when you share your talents how much of an inspiration you can be to others and inspiring others to find their gifts and talents. Because usually from being in here, that's what always happens. They have drawing classes. Some people don't know that they can draw, and then once it comes up out of them and they learn how to draw, everybody doesn't have that gift. So a lot of times, you know what you can do can inspire me to find my gifts.
We have an opportunity to come together and support the artistic work that's happening behind the walls. You heard Brian mention that they're able to purchase the artistic and creative supplies they need to actually create. United Adoration is set up to send money into Brian's commissary account so those supplies can be purchased. I want to invite you to participate in that by giving a donation. If you go to our website, in the giving page, you'll see a fund called Behind the Walls. That's the place where you can make a donation to support this artistic work. There's also going to be a link in the video description. We'd love to have you join us as we come together and support this work of the Holy Spirit. Thanks so much.